Hi everyone, it's Jeff Mitosu Crafts and welcome to the Global Stampin Video Hop with the theme of florals. So today I'll be creating a card featuring the delightful Wishes bundle with the photopolymer stamp set and the dies. So you have some of those dies there. I'll be using that one. And yeah. Mixing that up with a rounded all dies, I'll be using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th from the smallest to create my aperture and adding the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder for the background. So for my cardstock, I've got pieces of basic beige card base, our unusual dimension, 21 by 14, 8¼ by 5½, folded in half. I've got a piece of another basic beige cardstock, which is 1/4 inch smaller than the card front, or that is 6mm smaller. Basic white, which is the same size as the card base. That's going to be for the background. And some basic white for stamping. Just any scrap. So we'll be stamping the flowers from the set. So it is a 2-step stamping, and you do have the option of adding those texture design for the center bits. So I'll be using the colors Daffodil Delight, Peach Pie, Old Olive, and I forgot my last one, which is Pecan Pie. So let's get started. Oh, and for the sentiment, I'll be using some basic black with heat embossing. So let's just stamp our flower. So the 2-step stamping, you do have the shading and then the filler. So I'll stamp the shading first in Peach Pie. There you go. I'll do it twice. If you're unsure of the orientation, you do have the front cover as a guide of how it will kind of like lay on top of each other. So just keep that in mind. So that was, he says, I stamped it upside down. There we go. That looks better. Cool. So for the filler stamps, we will do Daffodil Delight. Just double check. Yeah, there we go. And that one, you may see my head. So I'm kind of like lining up all of those darker shading. I haven't found the best way, but I'm just looking at different points to make sure that they are all correct. And then stamping that down. Okay. There is like a 3rd and a 4th stamping as well, but because I'll be using the die cut, it actually cuts out each flower, or that one, in a full set. So the other stamp that coordinates with this is actually these two. So you have the branch and then the leaves. I will show you a sample. So this one I actually fussy cut, not realizing there's a die for it. But if you use the die, it cuts out each of the flowers, so you don't actually get that full branch with flowers image. So I was quite happy that I fussy cut it, but if you don't like fussy cutting, you can use the flowers as is, or stamp the branch and then the leaves first on a layer, and then you can stamp the flowers. But anyway, so we're gonna do those tiny details in the center. And we're gonna use pecan pie. And the three designs are quite close together, but we're gonna use the edge of our ink pad just to ink up what we need. So kind of like masking really. So I've used the small one for the right hand side, so I'll just do those. Ooh, I can't see that one, it's too far up. And then the last one. And then before you continue on, just make sure you clean that stamp. And I'm just gonna dab that off a scrap piece of paper or card. So next one up, we'll do the medium. That one. And then clean. And then last one, the big one. For the final flower. Yeah, that looks right. Cool. So that's done. I'm gonna stamp a couple of leaves. So there's a bigger leaves which will die cut full. So I'm just gonna stamp a few of those in old olive, and then we can die cut all of these out. So one. If you want different gradient, use different inks, or you can do a second generation as well for a different look. Let's do a couple of those. 5? Yeah, we'll do 5. Why not? I probably won't use all of them. But that is now done, and we're just gonna die cut the layer. So loads of die cutting. We're gonna die cut these. There we go. Where is it? There. Tape, tape, tape. And then the small leaves have to find there, which is another post-it or sticky tape, shall I say. That one. Goes there. And then for this basic white, we're gonna emboss the mini corrugated design, which is somewhere. So it is a square folder, so you can, if you want it straight, use the edge or the line, or if you want it slightly at an angle, then you can just angle your card. I do prefer it straight, so I'm just gonna line that up, and we're just gonna emboss that. So I might as well just emboss it first, that I have it in place. So plates 1 and 4. With the, what's that called? The spine first. There we go. Bring in all of my plates again. So 1, 2, and then the 3. It doesn't really matter what. It's an irregular circle, so it doesn't matter. But I've kind of like done it so there's a wider space on the side, because if you do it that way, there's I think it looks the same, but I would just do it that way. It looks wider to me. So then the corrugated card underneath can be hidden on the edge. It's done. Just cut it out. So you have 6 pieces of the flowers. Put that aside, and then I'll just cut the rest. Ooh, 7 with the tiny buds. And then cut. So I'll just continue die cutting. If you do find or see any craft supplies that you would like in your stash, you can purchase it from our online shop. If you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Belgium, or Ireland, I'll just bring up our website there. So if you head on to that website, you'll be taken to our online shop for all current Stampin' Up products. So we'll take that off. Because it is a video hop for the Global Stampin Video, Global Stampin Video, you'll find the next link for the hop in the description below, and the full hop list as well for more inspiration with florals. Right, let us finish up. So we have got our mini corrugated layer. I will just heat emboss my sentiment. Maybe that one would be better, so we can cut it down. Or there is a label die in the set as well if you want it die cut, which is this one. Oh, that one. It's quite long, but it'll fit. You can shorten dies, but I'll just trim it with the paper trimmer. So basic black, prepare your cardstock with embossing body. I'm gonna do lots of love in Versamark. Just make sure that's nice and inky. Use an edge. Hopefully that's straight. And I'm just going to do it in white. So sprinkle embossing powder. And heat set with the heat tool. I'll just do that now. I'm just gonna cut that down. So the Delightful Wishes is part of a suite, and it comes with like DSP or Designer Series paper, Floral Delight, I want to say. But I'm not using the paper this time. With that. Oh, it just edged that, so it's too small. So I'm just gonna use my snips. And also it's got tiny bee trinkets, but I've used it all up, so I'll be using a different yeah. Oh, and there was a ribbon as well. Yeah, I've used them all up. So I've got this one. As you can see, it's still the same size, but I wanted to have the option to cut it down. So remember, we had this layer, which is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So we'll just cut this down as well. So it'll be hidden, but it acts as a I guess, erasing layer, erased layer, or we don't need to do stamping dimensional. So it has slightly offset itself, but I do need to cut it down anyway. So you could always just find the debossed line and then cut that down, so you know that that is straight. And then I'm just gonna go down to, so that was 9.9, so probably 9.5, or where are we? There. So it'll be thinner, of course, than your layer. Yeah, and then that one was 13.4, so I'll just go 13, I guess. Is that correct? Yeah, I've already done that one. Yeah, that looks all right. And then the final edge looks straight enough. Cool. So just make sure you cut it down smaller than the layer. And we're just gonna construct now. So which one? I'll have that as the top. I'll just clean my layer. So add glue to the back of this. Especially around. I can probably do it that way, so I know that it's properly covered. There we go. So all of it, all of the layer is supported, and that's just gonna go down from there. So again, combo. There we go. All right. And we'll bring in all of our elements. So in the bundle, I did show you that there are bigger flowers which you can make up. So the medium one is this one. That one was kind of like ink blended. And there's another one somewhere, which is the large one. I didn't do the small one, but just as a sample for you, I did use this for my Global Creative Project tutorial bundle, but this one is slightly different. So we have got that. I'm gonna, if you're concerned about the postage, then don't add any more dimensionals to raise it up. But if you're gonna hand deliver, you can just add more. Why not? So if we add our sentiment, so I'm doing it differently than what I would normally do. I normally do all of the elements and then insert or add the sentiment afterwards, but I kind of like want the sentiment right in the center, and then I will just add my elements around. So you have one that's kind of like connected, so you can either do it on the corner or even insert some areas, but I do like it like that. And as always, I do prefer my corner to corner, and then we can just add our leafings around. like that. So something simple. Ooh, shall we do it closer? Like that. So loads of options. You can even do the full circle, but I quite like the irregularity of that. So I'm just gonna add my elements and then double check. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, I'll do it closer. So stick those down. Press and hold. That one. And then add the other ones. And just build up your floral arrangement. Let's do some more on here. I quite like these small ones as well. Well, I like all of them, really. So I might have to use all of them, but you have option. Obviously, you can omit some out, but I'm just gonna add, inserting the elements. Down. And you do have the option of course, cutting down the small leaf, so then it changes up the look a little bit. Let's insert that in. So 3 on there, and we'll do this on the top. And cut down. So at the moment, it's kind of like mirror image-ish. As much as I can. But you can add some other elements to just change the look. Maybe we'll do the bigger ones down here. And then the smaller ones, the smaller buds on top. Okay, so we have 6, 3, 6, maybe another small one. But instead of having it there on the top, I'll do it at the bottom here. I'm just gonna tidy up the edge. And insert. So we're left over with another leaf and the flower. What other? We're just gonna add, quite like this one, another online exclusive, which is the neutral matte dots. So I'm just gonna add that. That's got, I think, basic beige, black, pecan pie. So we will go with pecan pie. Maybe too small, as in small ones. 2, and then 3. Ooh. There we go. You can splatter some Wink of Stella for added shimmer, but I quite like it like that. So with some textures on the background and the floral elements from the Delightful Wishes bundle. I hope you enjoy that and create one for yourself, or hopefully I've inspired you to use the Delightful Wishes bundle as well if you do have it, or if not, you can get it from our online shop. Thanks again for joining me today, and don't forget to check the description below for the next link in the Global Stampin Video Hop. Take care until next time. Bye!